Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Knife Nuts podcast. This one's going to be pretty loose, but we hear you like it that way.
That implies that we actually have some structure that we usually stick to, and today we're deciding to be more relaxed about it.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Just unlike any of the other episodes, you know.
Yeah. Which is funny because with Austin, he usually is so good at coming up with structure, and he tries to prod us towards structure, and the second he leaves, we just go back to our normal chaos. Entire way. Our homeostasis is just like chaos.
We're better in that. We play better in that sandbox.
Seriously.
But how are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good enough.
Brian, you're doing very good.
Yeah.
I had a good night. Yeah, that's true.
That was definitely the first auction I've ever seen go into an hour and a half of fucking overtime.
Really? I was like, I thought it was going to end 9,000 times. I'm like, no, I can't go higher than that.
Did that end in coitus for you, Brian? Was there a celebratory session?
No.
It's probably some celebratory bill paying.
maybe the hand job that those two guys decided to get from you, you know.
I would happily give it. for that kind of price, I'll bang any one of you.
For reference, everyone, Brian auctioned off a Mokutai and Dama Steel.
Oh my god!
Are you gonna make it?
I was chugging water when he said he was going to bang all our guests.
I also didn't even get to finish. It was a chicane.
Yes.
He auctioned off a chicane.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was very nice.
So yes, it was a very. This was like, if you guys want to understand what the highlight of one of our nights is watching comments show up on an Instagram post representing an auction of Brian's knives, and every time a post showed up, we would all giggle. That's pretty much how it worked.
It kind of got out of hand.
It did.
Was that one from Blade Show, or was that one you made since coming home?
No, that was the one that I kept from Blade Show.
Okay, so it's like a clean slate now.
Yep.
Never to be seen again.
No, we'll see it. That guy posts stuff.
No,
congrats to the winner.
I mean, he's never going to make another chicane now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's over.
I already have another blade almost done.
Are you going to do like a conventional one next? Are they all going to stay crazy for a little while?
Do you mean the whole knife itself, or you mean the blade?
I mean, I meant the whole thing, yeah.
I'm probably going to bring something pretty fancy to the US Entry.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's already coming up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's... Wow. That goes by fast. I mean, I'm in the post-Blade Show depression where, like, now there's nothing that interests me until the stuff that from Blade Show actually comes out, so I kind of forgotten how much time has passed already since Blade.
See, that's funny, Dave, because Jake and I were already tired of the stuff that we saw at Blade Show, and we're ready for next year.
Yeah, that's like the complete opposite. Nothing is interesting me until some of these knives start trickling out that were teased at Blade Show.
Yes.
eBay had that coupon, that 20% off coupon, and I was struggling to find something that even piqued my interest a little bit. It was like,
I guess I should go and...
This shit was upsetting.
Yes. What did you get?
Nothing. It's like, I feel like this is what it's like to have erectile dysfunction. I was just going through eBay and I was like, this isn't doing it for me. Just nothing.
I've been there.
Just nothing's happening below the waist. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because you can get a 20% off discount on knives that are sold at MAP pricing, and didn't even get to take advantage of it.
I used it for a spacesuit that does full body air conditioning, so I can go comfortably
anywhere.
All these shows. Yeah.
It has a HEPA filter so that you're not breathing in just recycled air. This is coming straight out of some neckbeard's mouth.
Jake must be in a defiant mood because the first thing we said before we started recording was we're not bringing up climate control.
The man is obsessed.
Oh, I got a rash. You know.
Did you actually get a rash?
Oh, I got a rash, man.
You got a rash from Blade Show?
I'm tired of this. No, just from being hot for 4 months straight.
Anyway, I got a knife from that eBay thing.
Oh, you did get something, yeah.
Yeah,
I know it was on my credit card briefly.
That's true.
What?
I can't remember why it went.
Are you guys legally married? Do you share finances?
It does happen sometimes. Yes.
Did they ever? Well, it got locked in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
as punishment for going away without telling them.
Yeah, that's why. My credit card didn't work, which was great.
Nice. Good timing.
But either way, I got one of the Reate baby machines. It's okay. I like it. It's a nice knife.
Yeah, I mean, the price you got it for is exceptional, so...
It wasn't, and I'm selling it for exactly what I got it for.
Are you selling it already?
Yeah. I see, what happened was the biggest knife decision I've ever had to make happened.
Yikes. Wait, what? Why do I feel like I don't know about this?
We better go,
go
straight into that.
Because you don't go on Instagram anymore, clearly.
Yeah, I saw you were selling shit, but I heard no mention of life-changing knife decisions.
If text messaging was still 10 cents a message, my bill just to help Levon pick a Shirogorov this month would have been like $2,500.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is the R1, the Hati R that expensive?
Yeah, Hati R is expensive, but it wasn't the price that was the biggest knife decision of my life.
Oh, it was the
cost. It was the fucking color.
You didn't just get purple?
No, isn't that amazing to you?
Yeah, that's kind of stunning. So for people who don't know, we're talking about the new Hati Rs that are coming out from Recon 1 with, I've never heard of this material. What is it? Alutex? But it's
Alutex. It's like a...
It's colorful.
It's colorful goodness.
They have like the whole spectrum.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The only logical way to buy this knife is to buy all of them.
And then...
So trying to pick one was a fucking nightmare.
Did you pick one?
I did.
And
it arrives tomorrow.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
So is this one of like the Three Bears models, or is this theoretically the regular level Shirogorov production knife?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I think it's considered a Three Bears model because it has the multi-row bearings.
Yeah,
and such.
Entirely
and the upgraded steel or whatever.
Yeah, I'm entirely confused by their system.
Or what's a one bear? What's a two bear? Maybe it's two bears.
I think it's just regular production, then Three Bears, then custom division, then actual custom.
Fuck it.
Their USN forum says it. It's confusing.
It's a nice Shirogorov.
Yeah,
it should be good.
I've had many a fake one, so I can only imagine how nice that one will be.
Yeah, I'd send it to you, but you'd probably tell me you hated it. So.
I feel like there's no chance I will hate it. Unless you pick, like, what is it, the brown? I think there's a brown color that looks quite bad.
I did not pick brown.
Okay. Well, then I don't think I'm going to dislike it. Brown was really the only one that wasn't a winner there.
It looked kind of like snakeskin, the brown.
Yeah.
So you're not going to tell us what color?
I don't know. Should I tell you what color?
It's not that big of a reveal, I'm going to be honest.
You're going to find out tomorrow. You're going to find out
as long as it's not yellow, brown, or...
Well, this isn't going to get posted till tomorrow, so tell us now. Let everybody else will...
Yeah,
I guess you're right. Everybody else will know.
They'll know it.
Yeah, we're not live, Levon.
All right, so let's make this part... Let's add some content. What color do you think I got?
I hope you went with... I'm going to go blue sea. That's a weird one that you don't see often.
No, because I didn't do a blue.
Dark cherry.
Because... Ooh.
Dark cherry is my second favorite.
You nailed it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Dark cherry, you nailed it.
Yeah, maroon is nice.
I was actually on the... I saw all of these at Blade Show. And I really liked the aquamarine. It really popped. But I realized that I have a hurricane in pretty much the same color. And I don't have anything remotely similar to dark cherry. So
yeah, it's like a maroon.
It came down to... And it's funny because I eliminated the aquamarine from the lineup, and it came down to like the purples. There's two purples to fuck with my head. There's a violet and purple.
I mean, maybe I'm colorblind, but the difference is like almost unnoticeable to me.
I'll send you the better pictures. Tamar at Recon 1 sent over a whole bunch, so it made it really easy.
I mean, the dark cherry is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it looked really good, so I'm glad I picked that.
That's awesome.
So I'll play with it for a while and I'll send it off to you.
It's also going to be astoundingly light. I think they mill the titanium 2 out, and it's like, yeah, the Hati is a very cool model. I would take it over any of the other Shiro models, over 95R, the turtle one.
Wow.
Yeah, the Hati's really cool.
The Hati's a Hati.
It is. Nice. Is that your first Shirogorov?
It is.
It's the first one for the whole podcast.
You could say that I broke my Shiro cherry.
I'm sure you can use that as a caption tomorrow before the podcast goes up. What steel? What steel is it? Is it something wild like Van X 37?
No, it's actually just M390.
Oh, that's surprisingly reserved.
Just M390.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of gotten to the point where it's just M390.
Just M390.
It's wild.
Yeah,
it's on everything. I can't believe how many M390 knives I have now.
Some other knives that have come through. I got one of the Pena X Series.
Yeah, came and went.
I still have it now. It's getting sent off to Troy tomorrow. But that's a really cool knife. You know, when the Shiro popped up, I was like, "Fuck, I got to get rid of some of this stuff." Can't keep everything.
Evidently, you don't like it better than the Lanny, since they're kind of similar, and you kept one and not the other.
You know what killed it for me? Because I really did like the X Series. The blue screws with the green G10.
It
was driving me nuts.
It's a bad combination.
Yeah. I actually talked to Enrique on the phone. We were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm probably going to change it to gold. I was like, yeah, or bronze.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That would look dramatically better.
If he decides to make more anyway.
Yeah.
He has some really cool projects coming.
Are those all out? Like the whole run of them is done?
I think they're sold out, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, those were like impossible to get. They sold out like immediately.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I posted that for sale, it was gone.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, those are going to be rare.
We also had a listener send us a very, very special
knife. Yeah.
Yep. So we have a Dalibor Unnamed Integral in the house right now.
Courtesy of Irish Edgeworks.
Yes.
With some underscores.
Definitely give him a follow. Very, very, yes. Lots of underscores in there. If you guys go to my Instagram, you'll see pictures of the Dalibor, and you can get to him right from there. And I'm going to see you tomorrow, Jake. So I'll leave that with you to take a look at. He insists that you're perfectly allowed to take it apart and do whatever you want to do with it,
including use it as a knife.
He says so. I was
not
going to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Don't take it apart. Don't use it as a knife. Send it back to the guy.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
You're right, Brian. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to close my eyes, and when Levon walks in, I'm going to have a flat rate box open, and he's
just put it right
dump
back
it right in.
Just toss it right into the box.
In fact, you know what? Levon, just throw it in your creek right now. Don't even bring it.
So what's really funny is how quickly it got here. We were talking like last Thursday evening. He mentioned, "Hey, how about I send you guys this Dalibor?" And then the next afternoon, it was on my doorstep.
Yeah, it was like it bended like the laws of physics.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar experience with Banggood recently. 4 days for free shipping from China.
That's wild.
For a tool, unfortunately, it wasn't any of the fun quad.
It wasn't an integral Dalibor.
No, but 4 days from China for free is pretty amazing.
That's pretty good. It probably didn't come from China. It probably came from a warehouse. Yeah,
on a boat.
How is an integral from Dalibor?
I mean, here's the thing about the integral Dalibor. Is it my kind of knife? Not necessarily. But is it made very well? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it weighs quite a bit.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. Like for a knife like that, it's incredible. And I don't know too many people who are making integrals the way he's making integrals. You know?
Yeah, I mean it's just him and Reate that are consistently putting them out. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
I mean, other people have done it. They just not nearly as frequently. I think everything Dalibor does at this point is pretty much an integral once he figured it out.
And it's a true integral. Like the only screw is the fucking pivot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he just takes a big ass block of titanium and then just mills the channel for where the blade goes. Like, yeah.
It's finished nicely. Like there's no real sharp spots or anything. Irish Edgeworks insists that you can Spidey flick the thing. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it was going to put me in traction before it did anything like that. So
I did not expect the detent to be that intense.
The detent ball is basically, I don't know, a BB. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, so it's got some detent. So we'll send it off to you. Dave,
you know what's funny is that knife is expensive, but Knife Center has a Michael Raymond Starlit up that they got at Blade, and the $2,000 for that Dalibor is a steal in comparison to the Michael Raymond $5,500.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. I think his table prices are also quite high at this point.
I mean, it's funny when you think about it. What did Brian's knife go for 4,100?
Yeah, Michael Raymond.
But I guess.
Well, then Brian, you gotta make it. If you
Listen, dumbass, you had to erase it last week. Now you got to fucking do it again.
I didn't say what knife. I just said you had to make one.
Actually, it was all a secret up until you just blurted out like, "No, you gotta delete it."
I mean, I'll just leave it on this.
Douches.
But this Starlit is just titanium. It's not Mokutai or anything. I mean, it's got a mother of pearl inlay on the pivot, which is beautiful.
You might as well stop because we got to edit this whole part out.
Fine. Just segue into another topic.
Just put a whole long beep in there. See what happens.
Fine.
You can just say I went on a rant and you had to beat me up.
Okay.
So it's been an interesting. Oh my God! You sent us before we go into the next thing. There was a couple other knives that crossed our paths. I got the Camp 10, the Camp Tan version of the Camp 10. That's very exciting. And Dave, you received a gift from us.
Yeah, I got the Kershaw Camp 18,
and I got a gift from you.
Yeah, that's the Real Steel G5.
I got to tell you, I liked it better from afar.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, it's a good $45 knife.
It's a good $45 knife. You know what drives me nuts about it? Like, I can't open it to save my life. My hand doesn't want to. It's got like a front flipper type thing.
Yeah.
And you can't front flipper it the way you would front flipper a front flipper.
You definitely can't. I don't think you can do it with your index finger. You have to do it with your thumb.
No.
Or
yeah, I tried to do it with my index finger and it just tears it up.
Yeah, it does not work that way. I mean, it's okay. The handle's full of sharp edges, which is like a $45 knife thing.
Yes.
And also,
that's my biggest pet peeve of it. It's just all sharp everywhere.
Yeah, and that, I don't know what that color is, but it's like some bad place in between sky blue and gray. It's a weird color.
It's gray.
Yeah, it's called soft gray on the box, and that actually seems appropriate. It's not very attractive. I don't know, it's cool.
I like the design of it. I think it looks cool.
Roller bearings and shit.
Yes.
It does have the roller bearings.
That's true. Which is funny. We should take them out and put them in my Shirogorov. And then it's a custom division.
Yeah, I was going to say, then it is a custom division.
Yeah.
But Real Steel, speaking of Real Steel, they've actually got some new knives coming out. They've got the most expensive one they've ever made called the Harrier, and it uses a Hoback rolling detent ripoff that actually looks kind of interesting, and it has the sealed bearings again. Like the bearings that are encased on both sides, yeah.
What does this look like?
It's called the Harrier. It's not...
Got that part I got.
Yeah, let me find a picture of it.
While he's doing that...
I remember seeing this on Instagram and thinking it looked good.
I will take a look.
All right, let me send this. There's a whole Knife News article about it, naturally. But anyway, yeah, so it uses a HRD ripoff.
That's why it stood out to me. It's a Carson design, so it's sort of reminiscent of the original boiling Megalodon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's probably good looking. Let me take a look.
It has that same, I don't even know how to...
The S-shaped pivot cutout. I mean, not pivot, lock bar cutout, yeah.
Yes, the tight S.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like a chicane in a way.
It looks really fat in the handle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the carbon fiber inlays look terrible.
It looks like, I don't think I like it.
I don't like it at all.
It looks like a megalodon that got stung by a bee.
Yeah, it just kind of looks swollen.
Yeah.
It's not great, and I don't know.
What the fuck with the two turd inlays laying across?
They look awful. They're also not flush. They stand up way too much. And they look like they got some shitty rock pattern on them. Oh, it does have a shitty rock pattern.
Why did you... This is terrible.
It also has...
Don't buy this knife.
Yeah, it also has thumb studs and 2 detent balls. So the Hoback rolling detent ripoff is not the one that goes into the blade.
What's happening with the weird... Do you see the lock bar relief? What's happening there?
Oh, yeah. Why is there, what looks like some sort of, inlay for the clip?
Channel milled in it.
Yeah, what is happening there? Oh, that is terrible.
I don't understand this knife.
Damn, this thing looks awful.
Jake, I think you're right, though. I think it's basically a callback to a lot of the Carson design stuff.
It is designed by him.
Do you remember? Yeah, before everything went streamlined, they had some very chunky, I would just say experimental looking knives.
I would just call it Chinesey.
Yeah.
They were not traditional Chinesey. I mean,
There was an element of Chinesiness to them.
I suppose.
There's definitely a distinct aroma of China on them. Well, let's see. Maybe Real Steel. They have pictures of the mechanics and stuff. I don't know. I don't think they're going to strike lightning twice. The Megalodon was great. Megalodon Eclipse was not as great. And then this is just even worse. So
at least one of us is going to own one. You know it.
I can't bring myself to. I can't buy something with rock pattern carbon fiber inlays these days.
It's not going to be me.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably the only person it's not going to be is Brian.
Yeah, that's fair. But they did just come out with the first of apparently 3 production collaborations with Jacob from Poltergeist Bladeworks, which is kind of exciting. I mean, it's a stainless steel frame lock, so there's only so much that can get you going these days. But I don't know. If they make fancier ones, I'd be okay with that.
That's
I did see that Mora came out with a floating fixed blade.
Wait, what?
What's a floating?
Does it just sort of levitate?
It floats.
It's a it's a unique mechanism. No, it is a knife that floats. It has like a cork handle.
Wait, what? Oh, that is not the kind of floating. I was thinking like Lady Macbeth, knife floating in the air kind of shit.
So the backspacer on this, what do you call it? What's it called again? What's this? Real Steel?
Oh yeah.
Harrier.
It has the little bars on it like my Hydra.
Yeah, why did they choose to also rip that off?
It's so over designed. It's like the designer took a whole bunch of design elements that he wrote down on pieces of paper and he put them all in his mouth and then he sneezed and whatever landed in the general vicinity of like a bullseye, that's what he decided was going to go on the knife.
Yeah, I mean, it has 2 of everything. It has 2 stop pins, 2 backspacers, 2 detent balls.
2 screws for the backspacer.
Yep.
Well, 4 if you count one's on the other side.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of a mess.
Not enough blade to fit in the handle.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. It's not good. Is the best way to describe it. The sealed bearings are cool. I don't know why someone hasn't done that besides them.
I think that was a big deal for the Carson Tech stuff.
Yeah,
I'm beginning to think that Real Steel is just Carson Tech Lab.
I mean, it's something. It's theoretically the same person, I think. The Carson of Carson Tech Labs, who is almost certainly not a real person, but
him and Kevin John run.
Yeah, Carson and Kevin John out there together.
Is now a good time to talk about our sponsor?
Sure.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
So here's a crazy thing that happened to the Knife Nuts podcast. We actually have a freaking sponsor, and it's a good one. So today's episode is brought to you in part by PVK Vegas. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about PVK Vegas because, we're almost contractually obligated to, and I also want to. So it's a kind of, a double-edged sword here. So they've been selling knives on the internet since 1996. They're the largest Microtech dealer in the United States. They specialize in automatics and balisongs, and they have a strong selection of high-end customs. And they even have a showroom in Las Vegas, which is a steamy 5-minute walk from the USN show. Did you guys hear that?
I did.
Was that good?
That was good. That sounded very professional.
I was afraid to talk.
I would also like to point out that you can actually get 5% off. Don't quote me on that amount. I think it's 5% by using the coupon code Knife Nuts, and that will be active by the time you guys hear this. Isn't that exciting?
It is. We have a sort of a sponsor people have actually heard of.
And it's funny. So if you guys are going to USN and you want to meet Jeremiah, who runs USN, just look for the guy that's dressed like a hitman.
Is a hitman or the hitman?
It's kind of like, I know what you're talking about. Like you're talking about like the video game Hitman.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like if you had to meet a real Hitman, it would probably be dressed. They would probably be dressed like.
You should probably tell Tim Lambesis what a real Hitman looks like because he didn't do that great of a job with that.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
The lead singer of As I Lay Dying. They just reunited.
Oh yeah, because he hired a hitman
to kill his wife. Yeah, but no, the band just reformed. After they were like, nah, we want nothing to do with him. As soon as he gets out of prison, he's back in the band. They just released a single. It's very mediocre.
Water under the bridge, guys.
It's all good.
But either way, big thank you to PVK Vegas. I actually buy all of my Ultratechs from them, and God knows I own a lot of fucking Ultratechs. I really want a UTX-70 right now. I think that's going to be my next little guy, but it can't be a black one. I got to get one in a different color. It's going to be the Shirogorov choice all over again.
Do they make that many of that one?
Well, they just started bringing them to market again. They were gone and now they're back, you know?
Yeah, so in classic Microtech fashion.
Microtech fashion with some improvements. So it's got the contoured, the semi-contoured
scale
handles.
Yeah. Well,
so it's going to look nice.
I mean, they also have a bunch of Sebastian's knives, which is, if you want one of Sebastian's knives.
Sebastian's knives. I think Aaron has a few knives on there now. Who else?
The new Cypher OTF came out. The Derek Monroe.
Which is really gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. It's got like it's got the same blade cutout and blade shape as the Sigil. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice looking OTF. Yeah. So that's cool. We have a sponsor. It makes it really nice. And we'll have we'll be doing some cool stuff with them in the future.
Can we mention the patches? Is that like a secret?
Yeah, we're having patches made. Well, PVK was kind enough to use their resources to get us some patches made. We haven't decided how we want to do it. To be honest with you, I was tossing around the idea, and I actually want to pose this to everyone who's listening. I was thinking about starting a Patreon for us. Does that sound like something you guys may want to? If you guys aren't familiar with it, basically you guys can donate a certain amount of money towards the podcast from $1 a month or so and up, and we would provide some sort of reward for our patrons, the people who like maybe giveaways, little prizes like the patches and things like that. But if it's something you guys think you might want to do, let us know, because we're still tossing it around as something that we want to do. You know, it takes a lot for.
That would be a perfect outlet for any and all of our giveaway ideas that are slowed by not really knowing exactly how to approach it.
Yeah, I mean, we really want to give it to the people that constantly listen to our show. You know,
yeah,
that's the only problem we have with doing a giveaway. But that's a great segue, because we're actually doing a giveaway.
One that we have similarly not put a lot of thoughts into.
No, we haven't. But NMD Bladeworks on Instagram actually designed a really cool miniature kukri. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, and I simulated chopping through a lot of wood, but it's a very, very tiny kukri that you wouldn't use for chopping. It's more of a neck knife, but I could see it being a really nice little utility blade. They're very popular. They've sold out. It's the Ween Knives Vakia. Am I saying it right?
I think it's Vakita.
Vakita.
Yeah, I think there's a T in there.
Like Chiquita, but Vakita. But it's very popular. It's sold out pretty much everywhere the last time I checked. And NMD Bladeworks was nice enough to donate one to the show, and we're going to be giving it away. And one of the biggest debates that we've ever had on this show was, well, not on this show, but the precursor to the show was us debating on how we were going to give this thing away. And I think we decided that you guys are going to have to post a picture on Instagram depicting what, Jake? What do we agree on? We know what the hashtag is, but what are they going to post a picture of?
Anything they can think of that might explain what they would do if they had this miniature
kukri. Okay.
Yeah. What
so
kind of
give us
tree shit or wood shit would you do?
A photographic interpretation of what you would use a miniature kukri for. And you're going to use the hashtag knife nuts tree shit.
And be sure to tag us as well.
Definitely tag Knife Nuts Podcast, Knife Nuts Jake, anybody you want, or everybody you want. Yeah,
we'll put exciting giveaway.
We'll probably put the details in the notes.
Do we mention it's made by Wee Knives? So
I said the Wee Knives Vakita.
Okay, there we go. So it's actually well made,
and it is brand new. I'd never chopped anything
besides maybe a piece of pizza. Hard use.
It only laid on a very large slice of pizza.
So it at one point was in contact with pizza, if that is a problem for anyone.
It's just oiled, man. It's just, it's like...
It's not kosher anymore, man.
You oiled the blade. It's good.
Yeah, it's right. It's fine.
It's good practice.
I'll have a rabbi bless it or something.
Getting back to the Patreon thing, I think I didn't know that this was a thing, but you can do it instead of a monthly donation. You can do it based on content output, which I think would be more appropriate. I mean, I guess we've stuck to the schedule of one episode a month at least, so I wouldn't feel as bad about taking people's money. But if we somehow slowed our output, which would be very bad if we did that, and only got money per episode, that would be, I think, slightly better.
With sponsors and stuff too, we really should.
Yeah, we really can't be. Yeah, we cannot get any slower. I mean, we've been good recently. This is our third one in a month, so
we're doing good.
And the lack of content is evident. I mean, there's some stuff going on in the knife world, though.
Like what?
Did you know that Lucas Burnley has a very successful Kickstarter right now? Because I had no fucking idea that was happening.
Not a clue.
Yeah, let me send this to you guys. Unsurprisingly, and if this should be sort of a word of caution to other knife makers that want to do a Kickstarter. If you want to do a Kickstarter and you want to get funded, do a kitchen knife. This is a kitchen knife. It's got 67 hours to go, and it's got $26,000 of a $5,000 goal. So clearly kitchen knives are something people want. Did you guys see that? Austin made a video about it, but it was a We Knives produced knife. It was by this guy, I think it's Vitesse Design, and it didn't even come close to funding.
Bombed.
That shit bombed. Like it funded like 12,000 of like 52.
Dr. Frankie did a video.
Yeah, they both did it. If you want something that's gonna get funded, especially when you're asking $50,000, you got to do something more down the middle, like this kitchen knife.
I think what Lucas did here that made a lot of sense. He knew he was going to hit $5,000.
Yeah, that's extremely. I feel like that's not even like $5,000 can't be the amount for a minimal.
So that's why more people were more likely to back it because they realized he wasn't asking for that much money.
Yeah, he's got to be putting up some of his own money. There's no way this run is costing him only $5,000.
No, it's probably going to cost around $30,000.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what it costs to, like, if you want a knife produced by We. I mean,
exactly. And this is made by Fox in Italy. But yeah,
in Italy, air quotes.
Yeah, I think people need to be more realistic about Kickstarter. I mean, it comes with like the learning curve since there aren't that many knives that have been funded. But obviously, stuff that is mainstream appealing, like a kitchen knife, is great. That Vitesse Design thing was super polarizing. I, for one, did not enjoy that design.
There's a gentleman on Instagram by the name of Blinks Blades. Have you guys seen him? He's a listener of the podcast. He's been following for a while. He's got a Kickstarter up right now for his We Knife produced item, and it looks nice. I mean, I'm kind of tired of everybody saying they're producing the perfect EDC.
Yeah,
like that's like my pet peeve. I really don't like it.
It does not exist clearly. I
feel like I said pet peeve a lot on this episode.
I don't think you said it yet. All right.
Well,
I'm looking.
The recording will tell.
I'm looking at this Blinks Blades. $21,000 is also still pretty high. It does look like that new Daryl Caston knife. I'm going to be honest.
He's been tossing this thing around for quite a long time. Okay. So.
I mean, yeah, it's like there's only so much you can do when you want to make the handle and the blade like kind of like identical in appearance. But I don't know. Good luck to him. But it seems like you got to have a low ceiling for funding, or you need to have something crazy like that like transforming karambit that funded like
something. If you're bringing something truly revolutionary, that's a whole other ball game.
Yeah, and also something not polarizing.
Plus, you get the gun community on the karambit dick.
Oh, that's true. It is tactical, super tactical.
Now, I think I grossed myself out with the idea of a karambit dick.
It's like Gonzo's nose.
Yes, exactly. Only sharp.
I don't know. So also my problem with people using Kickstarter when it's not something that's risky. Like that karambit is risky because it's like weird and inventive and new. It seems like you're just funding a pre-order.
It warrants the use of crowdsourcing.
Yeah, if you ever have a relatively conventional design, like why would people agree to like fund your entire project? Like if it's like a normal design, just pay for it yourself. I guess.
Well, presumably because they don't have $20,000-$30,000 to
True.
get the design off the ground.
Yeah, I mean that's totally true, and I guess if there is the demand there, it'll get funded.
Mm-hmm.
If people really do want it. So like it's cool that you can not have to do this as a business and have your knife come out and shit, but I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes it feels like you're just funding what someone should be paying for themselves if they're a knife maker or something.
Right. I mean, it does lower the risk because, if you have the only thing I can say is at least you have the manufacturing taken care of from this perspective, because they know if you hit the goal, you're going to get your knife, because if We Knives is making it, it's going to get made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there's very low risk from that perspective. So if you like the design, I say go for it.
Yeah, I think production ones are a lot less risky than like if a custom maker was doing one.
Yeah.
But we've only seen one of those so far.
That's true. Yeah. I also got, speaking of karambit dicks and gonzo noses, I got a Spyderco matriarch.
Why did you buy that?
I really always wanted one. Jake will attest to this.
Yeah.
Does it still come with the little warning about how it can't be used for anything but like cutting people or whatever?
I don't know. I didn't go through the paperwork. Does it say something like that?
The
That's incredible.
matriarch used to, it's either the matriarch or the smaller version, or the bigger version maybe. I don't know. Is the matriarch the small or the big one?
The civilian is actually a little big.
Oh, that's what it is. With the civilian, it comes with a thing like the tip is very fragile. This knife should not be used for like anything but causing massive amounts of pain to people or something.
It's amazing. I cut myself with it the first day.
I mean, I think that's what it's for basically just accidentally cutting yourself when you're trying to scare somebody.
It has such a stupid fucking name, though.
Yeah.
It should have been called the Skeksis.
That would have been a cool name.
Yeah.
I think that reference people would not have gotten that. Hold on, let's see. I'm trying to find the actual text of the warning that comes with the civilian. Here we go.
It's the civilian, but it's the one that's
Same idea.
Almost used for military purposes or combat purposes, but it's a civilian.
This blade.
And then there's the matriarch, which makes even less sense.
This blade was not in all caps, designed to be used as a utility knife. Its unique design will not support everyday use, and our warranty will not cover the results of using it as a utility blade. Did you know that you literally can't use your knife except for to murder people or whatever?
If you go look up, knife, the actual knife on sites where it's on sale, it talks about it being a great EDC.
Oops. I mean, unless they change something from the civilian to the matriarch.
It just makes me shake my head it doesn't make any sense.
Have you guys used Spyderco's warranty service? I hear very mixed things about it.
I did one time many moons ago.
You're supposed to use it again, Jake. I gave you homework.
I currently have a knife boxed up and something akin to an RMA number for Levon's cupped washer host.
Oh.
What is that thing? What was it called? It's the
positron.
The positron.
It's just a host for cupped washers. They knew they were going to cup, and they shipped it out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they fixed that, but they only fixed it on one knife, the Advocate, and that's weird to me. Unless I've missed it, I have not seen them say that they're going back and changing the bearings on every bearing knife that isn't the Advocate.
I think the positron is just discontinued.
Yeah, it's discontinued, but like I presume they're still making like the Domino and shit. So is that they're gonna go back and fix that, or are they gonna fix the definitely
Did
still
you
making
see that
the Mantra?
in the catalog? I don't remember seeing the Domino in the catalog.
Well, the Mantras, for example, the Mantra 1 and 2, the titanium ones, are definitely still being made, and they definitely still have the shitty washers. So it would be nice if they went back and fixed it, but I thought they only did with the Advocate. So
do you think the Spyderco Poppy will have washers?
I mean, how did you deploy it? No one's seen a picture of this thing.
Do you know how many people DM me after that saying they saw the Poppy and also had to look away in horror at Blade Show?
I know it's probably never going to surface. Like, this sounds like something that's going to stay in development hell forever and just be canceled. But I really want to see this thing.
It's going to happen. I know the Spyderco people listen to this podcast too.
You're an artist.
Please send it.
Draw it from memory.
Yeah, I can draw the Poppy.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Just recreate it from memory.
The Poppy is burnt into my mind's eye.
Sell the design to We and have them be Spyderco to the market.
They'll make anything
Poppy.
else. What's that model that We is actually hawking right now?
What, the Integral that's coming out soon?
I think it's an Integral. It's got like the scooped hole in the blade. You like it, the one you want to buy.
The It's a weird name. Let me find the name of it.
A weed knife with a weird name.
Tyke. I don't know how to pronounce this. Tyche. Is this a word?
Maybe it's Tai Chi.
It was apparently a here we go, a Greek deity. Of course it was. It was a Greek deity, fortune and prosperity. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how they came up with that. But so it looks cool.
The reason go ahead, Dave.
No.
Sorry.
You know something about it. I don't. So go.
Well, it features an incredible handle finish. I handled a couple of blades at Blade Show at the Wii table with this new finish that they're experimenting with. It's like they polish the titanium, stonewash it, polish it again. I don't really understand what's happening there.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, but now that there's actually pictures of it.
Yeah, I feel like you talked about this in the last episode.
But this,
now you can see
I know I did, but this knife features that.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. So. It's like flecked. It kind of looks like marble. Yeah. It's got like these flecks of color. It's really kind of exciting. I naively thought it was going to be like similar to the price of their last integral. I am reconsidering now my interest in it because I imagine this is going to be not inexpensive.
How much do you think it's going to go for?
Well, what was it? The 702 is the last integral. That was 300.
Go for much more. It's going to be 3 something, I would imagine.
Okay. I was thinking it was going to be like 400.
Yeah, well, think about it, their Domesteel models were only $400 or $500.
They were $550.
$550, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. It looks cool. The blade finish is, and I mean, the inlays look incredible. It looks nice. They're only making 300 of them too, so.
Oh, it's a limited model.
Yeah, it's got the gigantic like certificate in the different box.
Yeah, if those come in that crazy finish and that purple, that iridescent purple I was talking about, I might have to pick one up.
I mean, it should be the dealer soon, so we'll see. We'll find out the price. They're being very coy about what the price is.
I also really, really like the Sprint Run 04. What's that?
0462.
Is it the 0462?
The one that came out in all black recently.
Yeah, I really like that. I need one of those.
Yeah.
Need is a strong word in that case.
Oh yeah, I mean nothing is need here. We all know that.
I just mean for that knife in particular.
I like it.
You've already had every variation of that shape and design.
Yeah, but you haven't had the big one yet.
No, we haven't. I only had one small one.
I have the 0462, the regular one. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what I wanted finally. When they came out with the smaller version, I was so disappointed, and then they made the big one, and it's awesome. So I'm very happy with it. It's nice.
Just the all black aesthetic looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a pretty aggressive looking knife, so the all black looks pretty damn cool.
That's right. I want one of those. What else is going on? I know there's something.
Are you guys excited for K-Bar's first ever flipper knife?
It looks terrible.
It's so bad, and it's $19, so I guess that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, if you want a $19 flipper, all the gun people will have one. They're going to post pictures of it next to their presumably some sort of karambit.
It is tremendously ugly, but good for K-Bar. I don't know. I like K-Bar. I like them as a company.
It has G10 handles. K-Bar as a company is very influential.
Yeah, no, I like them, and
it's Cutco now, nice, but
yeah, Cutco bought their documentary series was pretty good, but yeah, it's 5CR steel, so it's what you might expect for $19, but oh man, is that thing ugly.
I was thinking we should, we were talking about the dual room situation over at Blade Show. I was thinking maybe we should hear it straight from one of the makers that was banished to that other room.
Yes, please. We need to do something.
Do you think we should do that? You guys haven't, I think I have someone in mind. I was going to ask you guys, but I think you'll probably agree with who I'm going to call. So give me 1 second. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Jake, you'll love this. So did you ever end up looking at that website, Knife Steel Nerds? The blog by Devin Thomas's son, Laren, who is a metallurgist.
I'm sure I looked at it, but not with as much vigor as I planned to.
His most recent post was about some cat. So if people aren't familiar with CATRA, it's like a automated system to test edge retention. And someone did a study in 2012 with a CPM 154 or a 154 CM knife. Like they made 2 identical blades out of the 2 steels, and they just changed the edge finish and the edge thickness, and by far the thing that accounted for the most variance in edge retention was just the edge angle of the secondary bevel. The difference between 154 CM and CPM 154 was pretty negligible in edge retention. It's kind of interesting. This is some really nerdy shit, and I really appreciate that this guy is taking the time to do this because, like, he has a Patreon, so I'm glad he's getting paid to do this. But
you
it's
guys
like actual sciencey shit.
Really appreciate when I leave because it took no time for it to get real fucking nerdy in here.
Hey, I mean, it's interesting to see that CPM 154 does not have better edge retention than 154 CM.
As soon as you
I know Brian's taking a fucking nap.
Brian, you can start using cheaper steels. You should be excited about this.
Yeah, but you got to convince all these people that that is a better way. So unless you just get on the bandwagon, it's like always a fight of trying to justify everything you do to everybody.
Challenge.
Yeah, like exactly. What are you doing the chicane in when it's not in Damasteel?
Damasteel.
Damasteel.
Oh, they're only that's it. They're just only going to be Damasteel.
That's funny because it's true.
Grayed out Damasteel.
Yeah.
All right, it seems like a waste of money, but
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing with them. I don't know if I'm gonna make. I'm definitely not gonna take orders on them. I don't know how many I am gonna make. I might just make some fancy ones and then move on. I don't know.
wow. All right.
I'm already kind of. I don't know. I just not finding anything that's really tickling me right now.
That's disappointing because like 3 people have them now. So please make more.
It'll be worth a lot of money for them at least.
Oh, there we go. You can artificially inflate your secondary
I'll
market.
make some, but I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna make $500 versions. That's for shit sure.
Okay. Well, and that is all of us sighing a collective sigh of disappointment.
Yeah, I know. I think that picture that I sent of that frog sticking a fork into an electrical outlet.
Yeah, Pepe. Yeah.
It just seemed to be the right thing.
Yep.
For me to get them down at that price range, I got to do a lot of them. I got to set up different type of fixturing. I got to do different type of machining processes. I'm just doing everything the long way. And
what about like 800? Is that more reasonable?
Yeah, but I'm still gonna have to make a shitload of maybe not as many, but I would still have to make quite a bit of them. I don't know that I want to take that kind of orders right now.
Womp womp.
I mean, I don't blame him. Like, he's gonna continue to spend the time making this stuff. You gotta want to.
Yeah.
It's just when I do big orders,
you lose your passion.
I get stale and just doing the same thing over and over and dealing with customers changing their shit, and I just rather make what I make and put it up for sale or put it up for auction or bring it to shows and just do that. I'm not going to make nearly as much money, but I'm also not going to hate every moment of my life.
It's a fair trade.
Sure you will, Brian.
Just the awake moments.
Yes.
It's a fair trade.
I wish I had an answer of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do things. I just, since I started this, I've been fighting this. What's the best way to do things, and it's hard.
Well, we've got the micros coming in a few weeks.
Yeah, they're coming in a few weeks. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then do I do something like that again? Do I do it like most of the people are doing and go to dealers and sell that type of stuff through dealers? I don't know.
I don't know. I think you have the ability to move them all the way you want to move them. So, regardless if they go to dealers or not.
No, I'm not talking about the ones I already did. They're already done.
I know. What
I'm talking about for future stuff. Yeah, but it's a lot of work. To take down all the orders and box them all up and deal with all that shit and.
Yes, and you have people that don't even like you, but still spend money with you for some reason.
That guy.
That guy.
I thought it was a different guy, but I was like 3 people that I really.
And you mean it wasn't the guy you thought it was?
No,
it was another guy. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Brian.
There's a cop. I have like 3 people that like really there was ever any animosity with,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy apparently was one of them. He's a doctor, He sent me an email. This is when I don't know if you remember. I had my old Sharp by Design email, and I went back and forth with the people I was working with to try to get these filters to work right, and nothing was working right, and I was just getting 500 emails a day at the same time, getting 9,000 people. Can I change my color? So trying to sift through that stuff all the time. I did the best I could. I was fucking working my ass off then. So apparently I missed 2 of his emails. I finally got the 3rd email, and it was, I've been trying to get in touch with you, whatever. And I said, listen, I'm sorry, I'm one person. I tried to explain to him a little bit. I said, your question, if you took the time to read the front page when you signed up for this, explained all exactly what you're asking. I said,
was this for the Mini Typhoon, or was this for something else?
I think it was for the Mini Typhoon.
Yeah, because that's the one you did, like the build your own adventure sort of situation.
And and I said, if you don't want to get it now, I'll refund your money. I'll refund your deposit. And he said, he was pissed off, so he sent me a nasty email back. How if I treat my customers and make them wait, or not make them wait, but it's a bunch of shit. And I was just like, you know what? Then goodbye. At the same time, he's a fucking doctor. I guarantee you sit in his fucking waiting room for 3 hours. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's true. I don't think I've ever been to. That out. Nah, I honestly don't think I've ever been to a doctor's office where I had my appointment at the time my appointment was supposed to be.
Now, that I have a bunch of doctors that I used to deal with that did the same shit. Every time you would go there, especially my sinus guy, I would sit there for,
Oh, my name's Brian. My sinuses are bothering me. Somebody help me.
No. That's actually what he sounds like when his allergies are really bad.
All right, so fuck you. So
fuck you.
I'd always be there an hour and a half, but at the same time, whenever you called the guy and said you got to get me in, he would get you in. You know what I mean? So he's doing that for everybody. It sucks.
It defeats the purpose.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So that's the story with that guy. I don't know. So, but now he's on the list for. But I didn't even know who that was. I thought it was the cop who screwed me over. So, regardless, if you screw me over on a knife, you go on the list. And listen, I'm not gonna. You screw me once, shame on you. You screw me twice, go fuck yourself. You're not gonna screw me twice.
Don't worry, everybody. If you're one of these people that Brian is talking about right now, I get penciled on and off the list all the time.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I can't even tell when he's joking anymore. Yeah. Honestly, I think he's dead serious.
I'm dead serious.
He's never fucking joking. That's for one thing. Brian doesn't have a sense of humor.
No, everything is a joke, but it just has a lot of realistic stuff to it.
That's called passive aggressive, yeah. Brian. You're doing it very well. Good job.
So, whatever.
Pretzels are making me thirsty.
What?
What is that?
Serenity now. I'm just reminded of Seinfeld for some reason because of Frank.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just exactly what I thought about. As we're waiting for our temporary guest, I should say. Tomorrow, I'm very excited about my Shirogorov. That's all I have to say right now. I'm curious to see what colors other people thought.
I mean, how many of them are there?
How many colors?
No, how many of them are being made? Are there really going to be that many floating around?
I have no idea. I mean, do we ever have any idea? But I do want to talk about how many colors there were. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fucking colors.
I mean, I guess they have every variant of that material. It seems like
I got on average 10 or so text messages per color. Asking which color should I get. And then we came to a conclusion, and I agreed. And then 24 hours later, he puts the question out on Instagram to everyone. Which color?
Because I don't trust Jake. That's just how it comes down to.
And because we just got to pump out We just got to pump out content. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
Content.
We didn't talk about the new Ramon Chavez Reate knives that just dropped and everyone is buying at a rapid
set
pace.
Everyone on fire.
Yeah. I mean, Ramon manages to like maintain some mystique, so I think that's why his stuff sells out like immediately.
Let's just be honest with ourselves. It's because of the pocket clip.
I like everything about the knife at this point but the pocket clip. I think it's holding me back.
What's funny is I don't think I like the knife at all. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, if they were maybe like a little bit less overbuilt, but I don't know. Reate did a good job with them, it appears. The Tanto Redención looks cool.
Why didn't Reate say something like, you don't need 3 screws to hold in?
Yeah, how did that happen? Like, they have such incredible manufacturing prowess, and then they end up with a 3-screw inlay.
Wait, can you say prowess again for me?
Prowess. I'm looking this up. I'm making sure it's a standard pronunciation.
I wanted to say, Ramon to me is like the opposite of Brian. I like the maker better than the knives.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He seems like an incredibly nice guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He seems very authentic.
And he makes a good product. I mean, people who want him like him. It's not a matter of that. That's just not for me. It's like the blackwash blade, metal handle, like the bare metal handles, and then it's like, oh yeah, let's throw an inlay on there.
I mean, I appreciate that there's an inlay. It could have been more boring. I mean, like, I think with no inlay it would have been kind of boring.
I think no matter what, he could have just made them all gray and they would have sold the exact same.
No, that's the good thing. That he's maintained a fan base like that and can sell these things out incredibly quickly.
And the mid-techs are still hovering, or at least people are trying to sell them for the $800 range.
Yeah, it's wild.
Do you know how many of those I got in trade offers like back in the day for nearly nothing?
Yeah, I don't really understand what happened with those. I don't know if they were produced by like a machine shop or something, or who was making them, but they seemed like they were super plentiful until they weren't.
Yes. Yeah. Or I honestly think that they were, something like that, but they were gone for a very long time, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess these Reate models are sort of filling that gap for now, but...
That's true. You guys hear that?
I do not.
You don't hear that? I feel like I hear someone chewing on sunflower seeds.
Oh, God.
You don't hear that?
I hear it in my dreams sometimes.
I don't know. I feel like it's happening.
I know what you're trying to do.
Maybe it's nothing. It might be nothing. You know, let's just ignore it.
This is some great theatrics.
I swear I hear someone chewing on sunflower seeds, and it's driving me fucking incredible.
He's not even in the chat yet.
I can't hear the sunflower seeds, but maybe the bag crinkling.
No, there's bag crinkling too. And maybe a distant southern trill.
There we go.
Oh, there it is again. Did you hear it?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh my God. There it is.
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron Frederick's here.
We even have video.
Uh-oh.
Aaron, how are you, buddy?
I'm tired now. It's baseball ran long tonight. It's long evenings when you work all day and then you go do that shit.
Well, we appreciate you joining us on short notice.
Oh, that's fine. Always glad to jump in. What
We were
holes doing.
Well, we were discussing. We wanted to get your perspective on a few things. We were hoping you would give that to us.
I'm certain that I can fuck somebody's perspective up.
So we were talking about the situation with the dual rooms at Blade Show. I wanted to get your thoughts on what that was all about.
What a clusterfuck that was.
Well, just elaborate.
Well, you know, first of all, you got people running the show that act like that they are the God's gift to knife promoting, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know the difference between somebody that sells Chinese knockoffs with their D2 and then knife makers. And you know, the thing about it is they don't give a fuck. They don't care about the knife makers whatsoever. Even though it was supposed to be, when it started, a custom knife show, it has quickly become a fucking flea market full of shit. But you know, you openly tell somebody this is the words that came out of their mouth right to me, and Jake was actually standing behind me.
What else is new?
We have to train these people to start going into that other room. Okay, so I have a $1,700 booth, and I have to train people to go there, and so that's your answer. To train people to go there. So you basically fucked everybody in the main room, in the small room, saying that, well, we'll get them next year. Like, no, that's not how that fucking shit works. You know, I don't know how many people send me angry emails and text messages on Sunday after the show, or say, you know, I looked for you for 3 days and never could find you. And I'm like, you know, I was in the little room. It's the reason I kept telling everybody I was in the small room the whole time. But they were like, I didn't even realize there was another room. It's like, that's my point. You know, and then have the lady that's supposed to be doing all that just say, well, that's because, you know, you're a new maker, and you get put in that other room because you're a new maker. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she goes, well, you know, you've never done this before, so you don't know. I was like, lady, I had a table here in 94. And she goes, well, you're not in our computers. I don't give a fuck if I'm in your computer or not.
Do you think it's because you were registered under Trash Panda?
Well, I had it originally when I got the thing under Frederick Knives, and then I wanted them to put Frederick Knives Trash Panda. After they had taken my money, they wrote me a thing back saying, well, you can't share a table. I said, I'm not fucking sharing a table. I've got 2 logos, 2 brands that I do. So, and they were like, well, how do you want us to put it down? I said, well, I want you to put it down as Trash Panda / Frederick Knives. It's all me. It's the same thing. And they said that they were going to do that. And when I get to the table, it just says Trash Panda. Like, okay, well, you know, whatever. Apparently you guys can't read fucking instructions that are typed out. But, you know, so then what you do is you move everybody down to make them buy tickets at the other end. That was their solution. Let's make everybody walk down here to get tickets. Fuckers, most people already had their tickets long before they got to the Blade Show. You can pre-order your tickets before you get there to get in. You had those things in your hand when you got there. You didn't need to go down there. You just went into the main room.
Unless you're Jake or myself.
Well, you know, you just do the best you can with what you got, you know. You guys ain't got no friends to help you all get in, so that's just the way that went. You know, so it was a clusterfuck in every sense of the way. I mean, I'm surrounded by people that I didn't know, and then the guy beside me literally is selling Chinese knockoffs. That's literally what the guy was selling. And
yeah, that table, that was nuts.
Everyone else around me had fucking trip hammers. Like, okay, why would anybody come down here unless they were specifically coming directly to me? And then that means you had to be talking to me on Instagram or something to even do that. So, you know, exposure-wise, the only people that were exposed to my brand that had never seen it was either a fucking accident or were fucking idiots, you know. And I say that because I wound up with so many idiots in my drawings that didn't understand that you had to pay for the knife when you won the lotto to get to do it, even though the sign says right on it you pay at the end. But
so to clarify, Aaron had a couple of Trash Panda fixed blades that were ground by different makers. He had one by Les George and one by Shane Siebert.
Yeah. Like 2 by George, 2 by Siebert, and then I had 2 by Mick Strider, but those stayed on Mick Strider's table, thank fuck. Because otherwise that would have been a clusterfuck too. I had the Shane Siebert, and I just got lucky that one of the guys that really wanted it was the guy that came up on, you know, I did a random number generator. You signed up, you gave me your cell phone, and I text you saying, hey, this is the knife. And, you know, the one guy, he wanted it really bad, so that one was easy. But then the Les Georges, I picked 15 names off a list of 50-some people, and 10 people thought that they got the knife for free. Even
Holy
though
shit.
right on the thing, it said the knife cost is $600. I will call you win the right to buy the knife. I mean, I have a paper. It says it right on it.
It was pretty clear.
If you don't know what you're signing up for, why in the fuck would you give me your full name and your cell phone number and do that? I'm just like, damn, I only need like one more thing, and I pretty much fuck your life up, you know? Like, what the fuck? So I kept getting people coming to my booth saying, all right, I get this knife. Yeah, for $600. And then after I go through 2 or 3 people that come to the booth, I wind up just getting text messages, and I wind up having a full script that I started just cut and pasting because I'd done it so many times. And finally it was just, it just got till I was like, fuck it, I'll throw them away. I'm not dealing with this anymore. You know, it was.
So you had a lot of casual foot traffic is what you're saying.
Well, you get people that don't know what they're doing, and I understand everybody's got to get introduced to the thing, but you know, at least read fucking simple directions. I mean, geez.
But it wasn't all bad. I mean, you had a pretty successful blade show, right?
Oh, I sold a ton of knives. There's no doubt about that. It's just that I got so many emails and things from people saying that they just couldn't find me or didn't even get to talk to me, or wanted to show me a knife that I had done 15 years ago, and if there was anything that could be worked on to modernize it or any of that kind of stuff. And I had so many people come up and say that kind of stuff, and it was like
you're probably better off.
Well, I mean, there's older knives. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. But if it was an art knife and they wanted file work or something and the knife didn't have file work or something, you know, that kind of stuff can be done. And you know, technically that's not hard work. That's just stuff I can sit down at my bench and do and make a few extra dollars, really. But of course they couldn't find me, so fuck.
I think I have the solution or the answer for why it was like this. It was because you were in the room with Cold Steel. So definitely the increase in dumbasses had some correlation to the fact that you were near the Cold Steel booth.
Well, let me tell you what, old Cold Steel sat back there in that back corner like he was going to be a big ass. And
he is a big ass.
I didn't see 10 people come to that booth the entire weekend. And most of the time, I never left the booth. Very rarely did I leave the booth. And I didn't see hardly anybody there because they probably couldn't even find his ass to go yell at him.
I don't think you were able to take a walk with me like on Sunday towards the end of the show. That was the only time I remember you leaving the booth.
Yeah, I tried to stay in it the whole time because I sold so many T-shirts. That was probably the best selling thing I had. Fucking T-shirts. So,
well, there's some brand recognition for you.
Yeah,
it's a good T-shirt. All that being said, I have one.
It is.
Is this because the new owners of the Blade show or Blade magazine, are they the ones that are screwing this up? Because I know it just changed hands, right?
It did just change hands, and the person who technically should have been there running the entire show decided that was a good weekend to take vacation. And that is a true story. I got that from a good customer of mine because they had fucked them on the rooms and things like that. Well, they got enough clout that they wound up talking to them pretty regularly and pretty heatedly. And then they told me, it's like, oh yeah, she didn't even come. She decided that this would be a great time for her to take vacation. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And they're like, no, she is literally not here.
Wow.
Cow. Well, there's another pin in the fucking show. They they have tried to make so much money, and they are so greedy that they won't do quality control on what they have inside the show. If you want to have a flea market, keep that shit up, because that's what you're getting.
It's whoever's paying for tables.
You know, when I first started doing this, well, like the show you guys come to in New Jersey, of course, it used to be in New York. It used to be in the Crown Plaza there in Times Square. Well, let me tell you what, there used to be a wait list to get to that show that was years long. You couldn't just go just because you decided you wanted to go. And that was just the way it was. He had a limited amount of room. He had a limited amount of tables, and you had to earn the right to be there. I'm sorry that it needs to be that way at every show. You shouldn't just let every jack off in there that decides they're going to go. It just shouldn't be that way. Just because you decided to start making knives last week and you want to go to the Blade Show, well, good for you. You know, sign up, get you a table eventually. There's little shows, do those. I don't know exactly the answer, but what they're doing now is fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think part of the problem is that they're getting more and more money because more and more people are going, even if it's pissing off the knife makers who are actually displaying there. So,
yeah,
there were some really freaking bad knives at that show. It was funny. Brian and I were actually talking for a good long time after we recorded the last episode about some of the really bad stuff.
Oh shit, that was so bad. Those were fucking awful. I'm so glad you guys found those. Those were atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, how long were we looking for that fucking thing?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. It 2 o'clock in the morning we ended up. My wife, I get in the bed, she's like, 2 o'clock?
What the hell were you doing? I'm sure.
It was worth it because they were absolute garbage. But, you know, I don't know if we should not let people go because they make shitty knives. I mean, you probably shouldn't let people that are selling fake shit into the show.
That's the point. I think that's the point that Aaron's making too, is that there's a lot of people selling fake Spydercos.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty foul at an industry show. But if you're pissing off the knife makers, which it doesn't seem like anybody was happy about the exhibitor passes thing, then, like, that's the people who bring the audience there. Without the people presenting, like, you won't have fans going.
Well, that's where I say you really ought to be doing some quality control. Last year, I was with Strider most of the time. I was at the Strider booth, and we literally went around the room and confiscated fake Striders 3 different times. and those are and we just took them. And the funny thing is that
how does that go down?
Did they get smashed with a hammer? I've heard this story. I didn't know you were involved.
We literally took them over and smashed them with a hammer.
Yeah, I've heard this story. I didn't know you were involved.
Oh yeah, I was smashing. I was one of them swinging.
He was the smasher.
Yeah, so I mean, we took one of my breacher bars and actually stuck down in one of them, just started snapping them in half.
Oh, that's excellent.
But yeah, we did that 2 or 3 times. So actually, we did it 3 different times. And the one guy came over there and said, you know, I either want my knives back or my money. And then Josh just picked up the parts and handed them to him, the parts. He said, here's your fucking knives in. And, but that's the kind of people that they're letting in. I mean, the guy that was sitting next to me, the guy that was behind me, had a knockoff of every popular knife that's been out in the last 5 years.
Which one? I was there. Who had the knockoff?
Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst booth at the show.
They were just to the they were on my left, looking out from. Do
we have the map?
It looked like a pawn shop in Chinatown. It had like gold frilly shit all over the place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it was just. I mean, they had one guy there that spoke English, but I mean, it was a Chinese knockoff. Is exactly what it was.
It's messed up because it's like you're all like strewn about in the same place. Like catty corner to you was Liang Ma, and it's like across from him is knockoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right across.
Right beside him, the guy had trip hammers. I mean, like, okay.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And the people, they were nice as could be, but the one guy beside was kind of front of me, kind of right beside Leon Mall, had gun targets. He was selling plastic gun targets the whole time. Now, how in the fuck is that knife related? What the fuck are you doing here?
I guess it's relevant, sort of, maybe, but it doesn't. They have to have some sort of strategy to where they put these people.
Well, it used to be, it said guild people, ABS people, handmade people, and antique. That was the way it was. And then around the edges, around the room, you had booths, and the booths were your company.
Production companies. Yeah.
And that was the way it used to be set up. But like the room that you guys went in, the main room, was a third of the size when I first started it. Above where the pit bar is, that level above the pit bar used to be the show. It used to be in there, and instead of being in that big room, it used to be above the pit bar. But when I first started doing it, you could go down and sit down in the pit bar and talk to people, and there wasn't 900 people milling around. You know, it was just like, hey, I used to eat in the pit bar, and there wasn't 47 people spilling drinks on top of you. You know, now it's gotten so big that it's a different atmosphere. But
it's definitely overwhelming. Like, well, it was crazy even for Jake and I when we were there. It's like, Jesus Christ, what is happening here?
Yeah, I mean, I still prefer the smaller shows like in New York, and I prefer
well, you got some room to breathe for one.
The USN show is about as big as I like to fool with. The Blade show's too big. The USN show is a little bigger than the New York show. The 50/50 Productions does most of the shows that I go to, but the USN show is a little bit bigger, but it's not stupid.
Oh, by the way, there's actually going to be a get together happening. It's a USN get together happening at the VA up in Jersey, Brian, like the same one we've been to a couple times.
Right.
And that'll be on August 2nd. I'll try and post the details of that. I'll definitely be going to that. So
okay,
we'll post that in the liner notes too.
Well, if I showed up to a VA, you'd have to carry my ass out of there. I get so drunk. So.
You should definitely come.
That's a long drive to go to a
yes
gathering, a little meeting. But, be 8 people there that know what a knife is. Everybody else there had stabbed a German at one point, you know.
It could be.
No, it wouldn't be a little meeting if the 3 of us rolled in, though.
No.
That's true.
It's a very sizable meeting.
Yeah, very sizable belt sizes.
But yeah, if you want to come, Aaron, you come stay with us. We'll just all roll up together.
I'd say around August I'll be in full USN.
That's true. Yeah.
Ready mode.
That's true.
I'm gonna start ordering steel and everything this week for everything, and start getting ready on that.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
A lot more kits.
You know, I've been doing a lot of thought on this one. I can't take that many pandas with me. They just are too big and too heavy for me to take that far and fly and all that kind of stuff. So I'm probably only going to have probably at the most 10 pandas. And then everything else will probably be kits in some form or fashion. The titanium ones and stuff like that, I'm going to try to get some kind of pattern stuff cut in on the titanium ones, even if I just sit and mill lines and stuff in on them.
That could be fun.
Yeah, well, it's more setting them up on a plate and doing it. It takes me longer to set up the plate than it does to do them. You know, so but
that's right. Well, we'll hopefully on the next episode we'll talk more about the USN show. Maybe we'll focus on some of the stuff that's happening. I'm hoping to be able to get out to that show. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're a little ways out on that one yet. So
it's closer than I think. You know.
Well, it's like,
almost July. What is it?
60. It's like 64 days.
Oh,
it's a tight time frame from from Blade to USN show.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to do Blade show and then do a show in August that was the Guild show, and it used to be down in Orlando back when the Guild didn't move around. It was a really good show down in Orlando. I used to do that show a lot, and it was basically come home from Blade and take a week off or something like that, and then you basically had to start getting into prep again on what you were going to start doing.
Yeah. Well, what I'm curious about is if the production manufacturers are going to start just only going to SHOT Show and give up on Blade. I know some of them used to not go to Blade, which is interesting. It makes no sense.
We went to the Kershaw booth, and no one could have given a rat's ass of what was happening at Blade Show at Kershaw booth.
Yeah, so like SHOT Show might be just the production. Like I know, was it SOG that hasn't been to Blade Show in years, and Cold Steel just came back for the first time in a while or something. But it's going to be kind of bizarre if all the production knives just switch to SHOT Show. But I guess it might bring Blade back to what it originally was, which was a custom show. So.
Well, I know we said we weren't going to be talking about climate control in that room, but maybe it was so cool in there because Cold Steel was there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, with the bad puns and jokes, and
I do them just for you, Jake.
No, it was not cool in there because it was Lynn Thompson. If anything, I'm surprised it wasn't hot because Lynn Thompson was breathing up all the air with his fat ass trying to tomahawk fight.
Well, he did show a video of cutting a pig in half.
Oh my God.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Oh my God.
I hate to be that Cold Steel employee that has to fake tomahawk fight him all day at Blade and just keep getting hit in the head with a rubber tomahawk. How much can you pay someone to do that?
But it didn't even look like whatever they were doing was going to break a sweat. It looked like they were taking a few steps towards each other and a few steps back.
Oh, I'm telling you, they didn't hardly have any traffic in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the production company's just going to go.
Hey, I have a question for everybody too.
The production guys were this time.
I have a question. Has anyone listened to Ernie Emerson's podcast?
No,
That's not something I'm gonna listen to.
No, me neither.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't seem to be about knives, so at least it's not crowding this already crowded field even more.
Is it crowded? I can't tell.
I don't know. There's 6 of us.
It's not crowded.
It's not crowded.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna flex on them?
No, there's no need to flex. Everybody's cool.
Yeah, after this episode, I don't think we have anything we can flex about.
This is a no flex zone.
Wow, that's a very useful reference for you to be making.
Yeah, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did.
that for you.
Wow,
Dave.
I'm really impressed.
I did.
This is
for
like
you.
when you have a demented grandfather and he has a moment of lucidity. This is what it feels like. I'm so impressed.
That's pretty much what it is. That's funny.
So, were you guys around when the guy in the scooter chair
knocked over the whole display?
knocked over my table that had my kits on?
What?
No.
Was it Bob Chazula?
Oh my God.
No. I don't even know who this guy was, but it was like Jesus had hit him all of a sudden because, he comes through there and it was like, it's like Brad steps up and he was like, no, Brad, mate. No, Chris that was there. I'm sorry. Chris was over there and the guy was doing that. And all of a sudden he bumps the table and I kind of reach over and start just kind of balancing knives and grab
Just catching them with your feet and shit.
And all of a sudden the guy jumps up like Jesus had touched him or something.
No.
He was healed immediately. And I was like, dude, you're in a power chair running around the Blade show and acting like you can't do nothing. And all of a sudden you jump up and try to balance knives. Like, wow, you're healed. All right.
Did it have a basket in the front of it? That's really what would make it even better. He does it. He bumps into tables and hopes things fall into
the basket just conveniently.
He rolls away.
Who goes and gets one of those things that don't need it at every grocery store alive? They all do that, but to come to the Blade show and then can't drive the motherfucker, it's like, holy shit, dude. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm surprised there aren't more of those at Blade.
Well, it's a lot of walking, but gee whiz,
Wow. Well, Aaron, thank you for joining us for this. I guess unrehearsed shit
is
show.
the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
It
Thanks,
is
Brian.
shit show, exactly. That's so.
Shall we? Yeah, go ahead.
What
Go for it,
have you
buddy.
all talked about?
What's that?
I said, what have you all talked about?
Well, before you joined us, we were actually talking about some of Brian's favorite customers.
It was about 45 minutes of going on and on about knives that I don't even know what the fuck they were talking about. 5 minutes of me raving like a lunatic, and then you came on.
That's pretty much. That's
Yeah.
exactly
That's
what.
how
Give the people what they want.
That's every episode.
Well,
though.
I actually had a very, very upset customer when I got back. He sent a knife to me during the Blade Show prep. I told him flat out that there's no way I can work on a knife right now. If it was something that was really tore up, maybe I could take a look at it. But the thing about it is that he wanted the knife switched around. He wanted a new clip. He wanted some other things done to it. And then I did take a week off to do shit that had to be done around my house after I got back. And then I start getting calls from Monkey Edge saying that they've got a customer that had sent a knife back, and he'd bought it like a year ago. And he's just berating them, wanting to know where this knife was.
Oh shit! So he called Monkey Edge about it.
And apparently he had sent me he'd sent me a bunch of emails. Well, I wound up going up there and opened some of them, and they're just nasty. And I'm like, well, I tell you what, you'll get your knife back and I'll fix it, but I guarantee you don't get no fucking clip put on it. You're gonna get your knife back and you can suck a dick is what you can do.
Yeah.
So I fixed the knife. He wanted the detent tightened up, and I get it and I open it. And I'm like, it's a $1,600 knife. You're wanting it to have a detent like a flipper, like it, that it's just gonna jump. I'm like, dude, it's not that kind of knife, but I did tighten the detent, put it in there nice and tight. I hope he can't even open it when he gets it. But, I do the whole thing, and I'm like, man, you are a rude motherfucker. Just to pass the hat, call everybody else, see if they can get a hold of me. And it was like, dude, I took a week off and spent some time with my family. I wrote him an email and said, I'm sorry that I actually took a week off, after one of the biggest show preps that I've ever done, and spent a couple of days working around the house and took my kids fishing a few times. Your knife's on the way. The detent's fine. I did not give you a clip.
This dude buys a $1,600 knife and has to know that Blade Show is coming up. Like, it's not like someone who buys a $1,600 knife knows that Blade Show.
Oh, I
knows
told him as soon as he said he wanted to send it back, I told him that there is no way I can work on anything until this time frame here. And he said, oh, that's fine. And then all of a sudden, it's not fine. It's like, hey, fuck you, Aaron. I want to make sure that I make your life a living hell. Like, seriously.
It's very rude just to even want to send something to a knife maker at Blade Show and say,
well, what was happening was the person that he was selling that knife to, that he the one that he sent to you to get refurbished, so it's like brand new again. That person was getting antsy, and he was afraid he was going to lose the sale.
More than likely. But
I can't tell you how every time I fix a knife, not that I fix them, but every time I make a knife back to new condition, it's fucking sold the next day.
It's because it's being sold.
Yeah.
So, like, this is how not a secret Blade Show is too. It's like, I have a Spyderco calendar, right? And in that calendar, Blade Show is literally printed on the day of Blade Show. Christmas is not, but Blade Show is. So it's that big a deal.
Well, I just don't understand people sometimes. Well, I mean, people suck most of the time anyway. But when you get people that are demanding, you get customers that start getting be flipping assholes all the time. You don't want to do anything extra for them. You don't want to do anything for them. It's like, wow, it's not like I won't already make everything right, but I mean, there was nothing wrong with this knife. It was in mint condition. It had never been out of the pouch, it looked to me. And all of a sudden you want a new clip, but the reason being is that I used to not make those milled clips the way I do now. And he wanted a milled clip. Of course, he didn't want to pay for it. You know, he didn't want to pay for the $75 it would be to have to change all this stuff out. But that's what he wanted. But of course, that's not what he got. So, but
Wow.
I don't know. I don't understand people acting that way. You know, I got one on my desk right now. The guy's asked me 2 or 3 times about it. It's because somebody took it apart and completely fucked it up. And he's like, you know, when am I going to get that back? I said, whenever I get time to actually make new liners and all this. Because what's that going to cost me? I said, it's going to cost you a lot because I didn't do any of this.
You're remaking another fucking knife, basically.
You know, the thing about it is that I have to be real careful with it because it's one that me and John did. Jake has one that's kind of like it. It's one me and John did together, and I can't touch the liners, or I can't touch the bolsters or the handles again because John put gold in the bolsters, and he lets somebody take this thing apart.
Wow.
And drill holes into the lock. And he drilled, you know, your relief hole that you put on your lock. You know, I do a little end. I put a little hole at the very end of my lock, kind of a stress hole. That way I've got some room when I'm cutting them.
Stress hole.
He decides he's going to drill this thing huge. I mean, use like a 5/6 or a 1/4 inch or something. It's huge. It's a huge hole, and it's totally screwed the knife up. And I'm like, I don't even know what the guy was doing. Were you trying to make the lock so weak that it wouldn't work? I don't get it, but you know, people are stupid. But oh well, that's what you get. So most of the time, most of them are pretty good, but that guy just wow.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, man.
What do you think? What would you do with a miniature kukri? If someone gave you, what do you think the best use of a miniature kukri would be?
Well, is it from Pakistan?
No, it's a high quality item. It's just very small.
I don't know. I have no idea, to tell you the truth. I don't know that I have a use for that kind of blade.
Well, make something up.
Make something.
You're not winning our giveaway.
Yeah, he's not. Aaron is not winning the giveaway.
No, I mean, you know, I usually carry a knife for, you know, what I'm going to be doing. You know, I like a good sharp tip on stuff in case I got to dig something out of my finger. Usually,
well, I will say this thing is terrifyingly sharp. It would probably like rip your fingernail right off. So we're giving away a very tiny kukri. Did you see the picture that I posted on Instagram?
No, I've been at baseball a long time.
Go onto my Instagram real quick and take a look at it.
Okay, just a second.
I'm curious to what his reaction is going to be.
Well, fuck.
Content. This is some of the best.
Okay. Our listeners are patient. They don't mind a few seconds of silence. It's only painful to us.
I'm usually not very silent, but
yeah, I know it's true. But yep, I don't know. I like the tiny kukri though. It looks like it would be the proper size for like a GI Joe, like a 12-inch GI Joe, not one of the little ones that we had when we were kids.
my God, did they forget the fucking handle on it?
It's got a nice handle. It's actually sculpted and stuff.
It's tiny.
It is tiny. That's the whole idea.
Well, okay.
Did you see all those trees I chopped down with it?
Yeah, I see those.
Do you see that I have my pinky out when I was chopping with it?
All right, SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pinky out.
Solid reference.
Pinky out.
On that note, yeah, we're giving away that kukri. We're trying to wrap it up, I think. How do you guys feel about that?
Wrap it up.
Well,
Wrap it up.
Real good.
Well, Aaron, I want to thank you for joining us.
Alrighty.
We'll talk soon. Feel free to stick around with us while we wrap up. You don't have to leave.
All right, I'll just sit here, try to make an ass of myself.
Dave, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Do we have something we need to add?
No.
I'm waiting for a PM3 and Rex 45.
What? Oh.
Whoa. That was bad timing.
Yeah, that was very bad timing. Wing Ding of the Week goes to custom knife makers who have outstanding pimp job orders from 3 years ago, but are trying to make a shitty YouTube channel to make $30 a month on it, an ad revenue.
Can I also add shitty custom knife makers that are new shitty custom knife makers and think that they're custom knife makers because they've had successful We Knife collaborations?
These were very pointed.
Yes.
Yikes.
On that note, thank you guys all for listening, and I want to thank PVK Vegas for in part sponsoring this episode, and we'll probably sponsor the next one if we're lucky.
Probably not.
They're great guys. They're great guys.
They are great guys. And keep
Look
it,
for
you know,
automatics. I'm making them a bunch of automatics right now.
yeah, they do specialize in automatics. This was that's my advertising voice, Aaron. What do you think?
I like it.
And we'll I know we said we would do it for our listeners, but we'll post some instructions for the giveaway again in case it wasn't clear. The hashtag for the giveaway is knife nuts tree shit, and the coupon code for PVK Vegas is knife nuts. So you get 5% off your order and maybe even a little prize.
It's cocaine.
Maybe even a little prize.
It's cocaine, yeah.
I mean, it is Vegas. It could be cocaine. Thank you guys all for listening. You know, do the thing. Listen to this. You can listen to it on. Oh my God! Why? Why every single time? It's so
I love it.
stupid.
That's my favorite part of the show now, is waiting for Jake to start singing the outro theme.
Oh, it's terrible. Just terrible.
You've got the bad puns. I've got the outro song.
Oh, I think. Oh, terrible.
Intro, outro.
Play him off, Jake.
It's on. Listen to us on YouTube. You know, Stitcher, iTunes thingy. Leave us a review.
Google
if you want.
Podcasts just came out. We are on Google Podcasts.
Oh my God!
And like most things,
You probably fuck it up. Get removed next week.
it was very much rushed to market, so I'm happy we are somehow included on it because nobody's gonna be using it. But
Yeah, they'll
great.
find out it's knives and get rid of you fuckers.
demonetized.
Demonetized. That's why we need PVK Vegas and maybe Patreon. Let us know if you think we should do a Patreon.
Yeah, I think maybe we should put up a poll of some kind, or at least a post for discussion.
Is she gonna dance on the pole?
We do have a discussion group, an episode discussion group on Facebook.
It has a grand total of 0 posts.
It has no posts, but
I
there
don't
are
do
people in
Facebook.
it.
I don't participate.
This intro is going to be, the outro is going to be fading in for a long time.
That's fine. That's fine. Make sure it gets to the sweepy widdly wah part.
It does.
Yes.
It does the whole thing.
Yeah.
It does. That's the weirdest thing. I think we need an outro edit and an intro edit of this song because it just plays the entire fucking song.
Yeah, why would it not?
No. On the outro, it needs to.
Yeah, it's the whole song in the outro.
I just wish that had time.
Next time. I kept escaping to that room because it was cooler.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's. I've seen it presented as a selling point. Like some people said that they were hanging out in that room instead of the big room when they.
We're not going to talk about the climate control. We're just not. We're gonna just let Aaron rant about it.
Yeah, we're just gonna let Aaron be angry.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you're a do maker, you got to pay your dues,
or when you're Cold Steel. Apparently, wasn't Cold Steel in there?
Yeah. So was Liang Ma and Right Knife.
Yeah,
and Best Tech.
Yep.
There's some established people that also got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just.
So what
guys.
are we doing for this giveaway?
I wouldn't necessarily think they got screwed, but they got, if you waited till the last minute to fucking get in there, you had a choice. You either got in that room or you didn't get a table.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he waited till the last minute. I'm pretty sure he. Well, I don't know. We can let him.
If anybody waited till the last minute, it sounds like it might be Aaron. But
except for he's been doing the show for 25 years.
Well, he did say he registered late this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, didn't he not have a room?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But Cold Steel's the surprise there.
His wife wanted to skip this year.
You would think like a corporate entity like Cold Steel would have their shit together. Unless
Cold Steel just probably wanted a larger space.
Yeah, because they also needed to be cooler so that Lynn Thompson didn't have a fucking massive coronary if it got too hot while he was like stick fighting or whatever.
Well, that was the weirdest thing. We can talk about Birdshot's video from.
They do that every year though. That's the thing. It's like not even novel anymore.
But it just looks like it's getting even weirder and weirder.
I mean, it is weird when you're in the middle of like nowhere and it's just like an old fat man, like swinging a fake
sticks.
tomahawk at another man. And without explanation.
If we were trying to defend our hobby and someone just walked by the bally flipping competition and then into that room and saw the stick fighting, we would have no argument.
Yeah, I mean that it's a wrap for this, for any credibility that the hobby could have.
All right, so what's the? Are we doing the hashtag?
Yeah, I'm waiting on the hashtag. We're also waiting for one of the kids to stop having a tantrum.
Yeah, what's the hashtag?
I don't know yet. I said we're still waiting on the hashtag. The hashtag. Yes. I don't know. What are we doing?
I don't know. It's maybe some tree shit because it's a tiny little kukri. So they can cut down tiny little trees.
Knife nuts tree shit. Knife nuts tree shit.
Yeah, make people have to take a picture of them cutting down a tiny little tree with a knife.
Can we agree to that? Knife nuts tree shit?
If that's the best we got.
Well, Brian, you're the only one who hasn't contributed any ideas.
Because mine suck just as bad as yours.
It's honest.
Fair enough. Well, I didn't even hear yours. What was your idea?
I don't think you contributed one.
Right.
I did. You guys didn't hear it. I forget now.
I don't know.
Knife nuts pole position.
We really have to put thought. Probably not 2 minutes before we do a podcast. We got to put some thought to some of these things, like when we're going to give stuff away, how are you going to do it, and what is it's because it always is just done cheese, totally cheese.
Hey, well, at least in our defense, we weren't able to do the work sharp one because they never told us what to do.
Yeah, they just stopped responding.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, it made that giveaway easier.
Of how you would use this kukri and use the hashtag knife nuts tree shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really want people taking pictures of them chopping down little trees with it. And by little trees, I mean like
pretending they have a kukri in their hand.
Mm-hmm. But we got to bring it up at the closer towards the end of the podcast, lest people decide to stop listening halfway through the podcast.
Yeah.
I think I would rather have more half-assed entrance this time, as opposed to like the 3 people who entered our last giveaway.
Well, our last giveaway was pretty much impossible. I mean, it required you to throw a knife into a lake. What if you live in a landlocked area? You're at a real disadvantage. You're going to throw it in your neighbor's above-ground pool? He's going to be pissed. When that goes into the filter, that shit is expensive.
Archibald Meat Pants did it.
Yeah.
He should get it because he went on an
he tried to
adventure.
have the seagulls do it for him. That was my favorite part.
Oh, dude, when he tossed that down wrapped in bread, I lost my mind. Actually, the funniest part, and it was I'm here with my friends, and he pans the camera, and there's like 100 seagulls just hovering over him, waiting.
That man has a real talent for comedy. Like that was too good. Like he did too good of a job on that.
Did he coin the term Knife Nuts Nation? Did I hear that in there? He's like,
yeah.
He's like, what's Knife Nuts Nation? I like that.
Pencil necks.
I wish more
pencil necks. I laughed my head. Somebody's in pencil.
I wish more people knew who Bill was. So they could like appreciate how awesome that was. Like,
yes. Well, I pitched in the. I say because we have that not Knife Nuts, fucking Instagram TV thing. We just have Bill do like a 2-minute segment each week.
Oh my god, that would be incredible.
On whatever he wants to do, it doesn't matter.
I didn't even know he had Instagram, so that was.
I feel like he would be interested, and I would like him to get more involved anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'll approach him, but I don't expect a yes.
Was he in Atlantic City when he did that?
You don't expect a yes?
No.
Really?
After he willingly made 3 15-minute long documentary about throwing that fucking dagger in the ocean.
Meeting your friends in New Jersey.
He went down to Atlantic City with his wife. His wife was on a business trip. He went down there with her. And he was just like bored out of his mind, just riding the fucking tram, smoking a joint all day. And I kind of gave him a little something to do, so he was excited about it.
Oh, okay, all right. It was even funnier when it was completely random, but that's okay.
I had no idea that you put him up to it, Brian. Very good.
I mean, my first knife was a shitty boardwalk knife too. So, like,
we've all been there.
I connected with that, personal level. My first M-Tech was from a boardwalk.
Nice. Before M-Techs were cool.
Yeah, before Levon tried to convince us all that we needed an M-Tech in our life.
Well, I mean, Aaron straight up loved that M-Tech and took it home.
Did you bring it to Blade like you said you were going to?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Shall we start recording?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I think on Jake's end are the baby crying situation.
Oh yeah.
What's the status there?
It's gonna come and go.
All right. Well, use the mute button judiciously.
So we're ready then?
It's gonna come and go.
That's as good as it's gonna get. They're children. I'm already in the basement. The doors are shut.
You need some insulation for the basement. Just
I kind of started it, remember?
Yeah, I know. And just tape it to the door.
I don't think anyone is doing this, but if you listen to the podcast with like studio headphones on, like studio monitor, you can hear that I'm in like a room with high ceilings and echo. So yeah, we all need some acoustic paneling. Actually, you know what? Brian's probably has the best acoustics in the garage with the low ceilings. Is everyone dead?
Try to do this every 2 weeks. I guess it's been like over a month now. Feels like it. I'm still burnt out from Blade Show.
I think my internet dropped the call, so if you guys just started, I did not get any of it.
Fuck!
This is perfect. Wow.
How long were you talking for? This is very unusual. My connection's usually super stable.
We never stopped.
Right. We're talking from the time he said, "Okay, here we go."
I was already out by that time.
Oh Jesus Christ!
When
okay,
he said, "I'm recording,ng," and we start going.
Okay, well, gonna have to run it from the top.
All right,
Knife nuts.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.